All right, so just a quick little look, kind of just have everything sprawled out here right now, and let's get into it.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no more. Oh, even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right.
Today, we are going to be talking about a food loadout for a 41-mile hike. So here in Wisconsin, we have the Ice Age Trail, and in the month of October, there is a 41-mile challenge called the Ice Age Trail Mammoth Challenge. You have to hike 41 miles and visit 3 communities that are within the trail. I believe there's over 150 towns or cities that the trail goes through, but I believe there's only 15 or so that have like incorporated themselves officially as cities on the trail. So 41 miles, 3 cities. For me, though, due to travel restraints and things like that, I'm actually going to be doing this in one stretch, and I will be hiking 53 miles instead of taking the entire month of October to hike this 41 miles. So on this Mammoth Challenge, you have the entire month to hike 41 miles. You can section hike, all of that. So I'm doing it in one trip. So I figured, let's talk about food. So a few oldies that I've put up on the channel, as well as some new things that I've been experimenting with over these last couple of weeks, trying to narrow down some recipes, see, tastes and actually how good they're going to be on trail. And also if I can replicate some stuff that I've eaten that's more store-bought. So, all right, let's just jump right into it. So, when you're hiking, you're kind of looking for stuff that is going to be easy to pack, relatively lightweight, high calories, high protein, and the weight of all of that really kind of needs to justify the calories and the protein. I'm not like a dietitian or anything like that, so I kind of go with what tastes good, what's going to fill me up, what is going to kind of give me energy, what's going to, what kind of proteins can I take with me, things like that. So, traditionally, like you guys have seen me use a lot of these freeze-dried meals from either Mountain House or Backpacker's Pantry, which is phenomenal. Mountain House stuff, like you can get this at Walmart, you can get this at any, adventure outfitter. Same thing with Backpacker's Pantry. And there's tons of other brands. For me, though, like Mountain House is the most obtainable, like the easiest to get. Backpacker's Pantry, like typically I have to go online to order it, whether that's directly through Backpacker's Pantry or on Amazon. Both of these you can actually get on Amazon. So breakfast-wise, I have Mountain House biscuits and gravy, buttermilk biscuits with gravy and pork sausage. So this is actually pretty good. You're looking at 280 calories per serving. It's only 11 grams of protein, so not the highest in protein compared to some of the other types of meals that are out there, but it'll work. So I do have 2 of these. I am bringing both of these with me. Another thing for breakfast that I am going to bring. So I found, I don't have the original package because I've already started just kind of bagging stuff up in Ziplocs. But I'll put a picture so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But I found these like packaged, I don't know, they're almost like meal substitutes. So it's all like freeze-dried stuff. But this is a country breakfast. It's supposed to be like, I don't know, it's supposed to be like meat and red peppers and green peppers and things like that. I found these at Walmart, and they're only a few bucks. So I wanted to try this. You add a cup of water, and I figured that would be great. You guys saw me cook, the scrambled eggs to make like little tacos. So I bought another package of the Ova Easy crystals, and kind of divided those up into 2 packages. So this is 1 entire bag. But basically, we'll have the scrambled eggs. We'll do this little country breakfast thing. For meat, I kind of went with this buffalo style chicken, and then we'll add some black beans in there. And then I've got this, guacamole mix. You actually need avocado for this, but I just thought like the little sauce packet was good. And then I have like a powdered kind of mix. I'm going to kind of mix all these together. And that's going to be 1 breakfast. And I'm actually going to put that in these spinach wraps that I found from Mission. So I'm going to make like a little breakfast wrap, essentially. I do have some fresh spinach that I'm going to bring out with me. Not bringing the whole bag, of course. But in the wrap too, with the breakfast, I'm going to throw some fresh spinach in there so you can kind of get those fresh greens. But that's going to be 1 breakfast. The second version of this, so essentially the same stuff, buffalo style chicken, the little mix, eggs. But I also found another one of those things, and this is a street taco. So kind of like a little, Mexican breakfast burrito style thing. So I've not actually ate these yet. I wanted to save them for the trail. I'm hoping they're relatively delicious. They better be. And then for sauce-wise, I found, it's like enchilada sauce, but I'm going to pour some of that on both of these different wraps that I'm going to be taking with me. So that's going to be some breakfast stuff. So that's essentially 4 breakfasts right there. I do have some other items that I could eat for breakfast. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then jumping to lunch. So for the backpacker's pantry, I've got 3 cheese mac and cheese. The thing I like about the backpacker's pantry stuff is that, one, like this is 20 grams of protein. It's 430 calories. So essentially you're getting double of what you get in the Mountain House. They're also like way slimmer, so a lot easier to pack down. And they taste phenomenal. So I've not actually had the 3 cheese mac and cheese one yet, but we're gonna try it. I think it's gonna be delicious. So bringing that with. Another lunch I'm gonna make. So I've just got 2 packages of ramen. It's a lot easier than just using the actual packs to just kind of break them up, put them in a Ziploc bag. I've got a lemon and pepper chicken that I'm going to put in there. I am bringing other fresh ingredients, so I've got tomatoes and I've got some mushrooms. So this will, be put in some containers and whatnot. And the beauty with that is that the tomatoes and the mushrooms are actually going to be utilized in various meals. So it's not just overkill bringing it to make one meal, tasty. But again, I want some fresh ingredients just for health reasons. Really get those vegetables in there because you really don't eat like fruits and vegetables while you're out on the trail. So this could be a lunch or a dinner. It's obviously very interchangeable. Another thing, you guys always see me eating couscous. So again, I've already kind of prepackaged everything in Ziploc bags. We'll bring lemon pepper chicken out again. And I bought a kind of prepackaged thing of lentils. I'm sure this stuff's backwards for you guys, but whatever. So I'm going to mix this in with my couscous and the chicken. Again, I can put some mushrooms in there. I can cut up some tomatoes to put in there and, get a really healthy meal out of that. Again, very, versatile. Could be used for lunch, could be used for dinner. Just kind of depends on, what I'm feeling. But I kind of have this stuff where a little lightweight on the lunch, kind of heavier on the dinners. Another thing that I'm going to be doing, so I never actually filmed cooking this, but I did take a picture of it and I posted it on the Lifeline Facebook page. But it's a Salsa Verde kind of rice bowl. So I've got 2 cups of white minute rice here, and with that, we cut up some alfresco smoked andouille sausage. I brought this on a hike before on one of the Menominee Falls, 22-mile bike rides. I brought a package of this, used 2 of them for one meal and 2 of them for another meal. They held up fine. What's great about these, they're already pre-cooked. They're like vacuum sealed in this package. I just have mine frozen for right now, just because, trying to preserve it as long as possible. But in with the rice, we'll fry up some andouille sausage. I've got cilantro. I've got Anaheim peppers. I did buy a jalapeno. I'll bring that with. I'm not sure if I'm gonna, eat it or not. But frying up the Anaheim peppers, the andouille sausage, maybe the jalapeno. I couldn't find shallots this time. I used shallots last time for this and it was phenomenal. I couldn't find them at the store, so I bought green onions. I do have regular onions in the refrigerator. I may or may not bring them. I'm not sure, but I got the green onions, fresh cilantro, and then a bottle of Salsa Verde. So, these things I got at Walmart, very inexpensive. They're 9-ounce bottles. This was fine for the meal that I made. Depending on kind of how much Salsa Verde you like, I'd probably add a little bit more, to be honest. But again, another good, meal incorporating some greens, incorporating some really good tasty protein with the andouille sausage. Cilantro really kicks it off. I'm probably not going to bring fresh limes with me, but kind of squeezing some fresh lime in there, that's actually a phenomenal meal. And not just for the trail, that's actually a good meal to eat at the house. But yeah, so pretty stoked about that one. I made it at the house to test it out before I've eaten it, like on little day hikes that I've gone on. Simple and easy to make, and again, just absolutely delicious. Another thing, so kind of, again, going back to the 3 cheese mac and cheese, I'm like, I can make macaroni and cheese out on the trail. So I bought a box of Kraft macaroni and cheese and, dumped that into a Ziploc bag. And then, I'm looking at the little elbow noodles and I'm like, man, noodles are going to take a while to boil. I'm not bringing as big of a canister as I normally do. I'm bringing the half size one, so I'm trying to conserve on fuel a little bit. So I'm like, okay, how do we make a really tasty mac and cheese? So what I did was I took the packet out of there. So I'm going to have this cheddar cheese, and I'm going to chance it. I've got this smoked cheddar goat milk cheese. So this is actually fresh. So I'm going to shred some of this up with the packet of powdered cheddar cheese. And then I found these at Aldi, these little tortellini packs. So again, you know, it's vacuum sealed in here. This was in the dry goods section, so sitting inside of my backpack, this is not going to get all crazy. But I figured I can boil these to get them hot, and then in my other little, you know, cook pot, I can make up some melty cheese. I am going to I'm going to mix the cheese, and I'm going to mix that, where is it? Oh, so I bought some powdered milk. So I'm going to mix some powdered milk in with the powdered cheese just to kind of make it a bit more creamy. So that will all kind of be prepackaged, you know, as one meal. Everything will go into a Ziploc bag. I did have, you know, with like moisture and stuff, like these packets, they get wet, and whatever is inside it, whether it's cheese or a seasoning or whatever, it just doesn't hold well. So this, along with some powdered milk, will end up going inside of a Ziploc bag. So that'll be, you know, again, designed to have just a simple lunch. Again, very tasty, utilizing a fresh ingredient. You know, plus I'll be able to snack on some cheese while I'm out there. It should hold up. We're in October. It is, you know, a little bit colder out now. So some of the fresh ingredients too were kind of specifically designed for a little bit colder temps instead of like 90-degree weather. Probably wouldn't make this in 90-degree weather, you know, unless I was like bringing the fresh cheese and sharing this with a couple of people, that it would be gone in one sitting. But yeah, so again, fresh mac and cheese. So we're gonna kind of test that compared to the Backpacker's Pantry mac and cheese. They're utilizing 3 cheeses. I'm gonna utilize 2. I did find, which may happen in the future, I did find some powdered cheese on Amazon. And there's various different companies that you can buy powdered cheese from off of Amazon, different price points and weights and, you know, all of that. But I am going to try some of that as well on a different hike. But we're going to see utilizing some fresh cheese. What else? There's so much. I have so much food here. It's unreal. Okay, so then the other meal, and I did film this, but I don't think I've uploaded it to the channel yet, but using a instant sweet potato. The only one I've been able to find is this Betty Crocker version, and I mean, it's actually pretty tasty. But incorporating, so last time I made this, so one of the trips in Menominee Falls, I made this, but there were people behind me and they were talking. So I was filming it, but I was gonna like lay music over, because they were having a chat. It was really disruptive, and I was like in the middle of trying to cook, and you know, I can't make this 4 different times just to film. So, but anyway, so this sweet potato, again with the smoked andouille, which is phenomenal. And then I've got like my seasoning packets and whatever. So utilizing a couple tablespoons of Old Bay seasoning, and then some smoked paprika, just to kind of give like the sweet potato a little bit of a smoky taste to it with the paprika, and Old Bay. It's just absolutely phenomenal. And then incorporating those greens. So when I made it on the camping trip, I incorporated spinach. You can use kale or mustard greens or whatever kind of greens that you want, really. But again, because I've got this big giant bag of spinach, we're gonna utilize that. And that's a very quick, just a mashed potato meal, which you find a lot of hikers eating on the trails, is these mashed potato meals. So yeah, a little bit thicker of a meal. This one packet, like normally I can just wolf this down, it's no big deal. But kind of hiking and trying to eat this, like, this really makes me full. So I may end up cutting this open and dividing this up into 2 Ziplocs like I did with the eggs, which will essentially give me 2 meals out of that. The other thing, so we're going with the Steakhouse Bowl again. If you guys haven't seen that, you can check out one of the previous videos on the Lifeline YouTube channel here. But basically, we're gonna boil some beef jerky to rehydrate that. I chose to go with a bacon, chipotle, and cheddar instant mashed potato. And then as far as the seasonings, so I've got a bordelaise and like a French onion. So in the video where I showed you guys how to make this, I have the actual sauce packets. Again, I just already opened those up and packaged them into a Ziploc, so it's just one thing, and I just dumped that all in there. So with that, I'll probably add some mushrooms again into that like we did before. That's going to make it taste pretty good. I might throw some fresh tomatoes in there, maybe a little bit of spinach. We'll see how much spinach I have left from the wraps and the sweet potato dish that I'm making. But yeah, I definitely want to make the Steakhouse Bowl. I think that's definitely a dinner one for sure, but again, can be interchangeable. Something a little bit lighter. So again, another mashed potato dish. I kind of have these mashed potato dishes lined up. But I went with Applewood smoked bacon instant mashed potato. I bought these little chicken packets, which these are actually flavored Applewood chicken. So you got the Applewood smoked bacon flavor in the mashed potatoes, Applewood flavored chicken. I'm going to put 2 of those in there. And then I've got a little thing of bacon bits. So I figured, I could throw this in with that as well. I can use some of the bacon bits in with the 2 little breakfast wraps, all of that. On the last trip, I made my own bacon and kind of glazed it and flavored it up. That actually worked fine. But yeah, for this, I just went with like a pre-packaged. I had this sitting around the house. Another meal, so a freeze-dried meal from Mountain House. I'm doing a chili mac with beef. So this one is 12 grams of protein, 230 calories. Again, there's other brands. And these taste great. They're fine. There are other brands. Pricing's gonna vary, but there's other brands that are gonna give a way better protein count and all that. But these are inexpensive, so they taste good. And if you're a little bit more budget conscious, which I am, I do use the Mountain House ones a lot. And if I can splurge a little bit, I've saved up a little bit of extra money, I'll definitely go with the Backpacker's Pantry, just because the calories are more, protein's more. They taste phenomenal. Like, all their stuff so far that I've had is just amazing. So yeah, so that's that. And then these little, kind of meat sticks. So this one's a turkey sausage. So I picked a couple of these up at the store. I'm only bringing one with me. But I can cut these up. I can, put this in with the couscous. I can put this in with the ramen, just to add a little bit more protein, kind of a little bit more calories. So that's definitely coming with me. Another meal that I'm gonna make. So I wanted pasta on the trail, and there's tons of these companies that have different spaghetti type, freeze-dried meals, whatever. But I wanted something that was a little bit more kind of home cooked, a little fresher. So again, from Aldi, I found these little tortellinis. This one's a mushroom flavored tortellini. Again, vacuum sealed in here. But if you get tomato paste in a tube, so you're not carrying around cans, which you can as well. But essentially, 2 of these is going to be kind of 1 can of tomato paste. So these are bulky, they are heavy, but it is what it is. So I'm going to put 2 of these. Again, I've got fresh tomatoes as well, so I'm going to throw some of those in there just to kind of give the sauce a little bit of substance. I do have this basil paste and a garlic paste. So I found these at Aldi as well. These were, I don't remember how much these were, maybe like $2, and the noodles were like $1.50 at Aldi, so super cheap. And then I think I have an Italian seasoning, that I have with me. So I keep all these different random seasonings in bags. But I've got salt, I've got pepper, I think I have some Italian seasoning, and then I've got garlic salt, and then I also have like a roasted chipotle garlic powder. So I'm going to use that, and then a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. This will help with calories as well. So like everybody's carrying olive oil, this is good to like help me fry up like the spinach and the onions and peppers, the meat. But I'm going to put a little bit of this in with cooking the tomato paste. So that's that. Definitely some hot sauce in there. That's definitely coming with me. All right, so then some new things that I am trying out on trail. We're going to see. So one of my favorite meals by Backpacker's Pantry, it's just a very lightweight little meal. It's more like a dessert or a little snack. What they have is mango sticky rice. So I bought it. I like the taste of mangoes, and I've bought that several times, and it's absolutely delicious. But I wanted to see if I could somewhat replicate it for a more budget-friendly kind of thing. So what I did was I grabbed white minute rice again, and then I ordered off Amazon. Again, sorry, this is going to be backwards for you guys. But Augustin Farms diced mango. So this company has tons and tons and tons and tons of different things, whether it's different types of dried mushrooms or like vegetables, like mushrooms, onions, whatever, tomatoes. They have different types of fruits, tons and tons of stuff in these, number 10 cans. So I think this cost me like $31. And I'd say it's probably like 3/4 of the way full ish, maybe half, a little more than half. They taste phenomenal. It's like a little space food. It's freeze-dried. So I'm trying to replicate a mango sticky rice. So I've got the white rice. I'm sure you could use whatever type of rice you want. I put like 3 tablespoons of the whole diced mangoes in there. And then I took a couple of tablespoons and kind of like crunched them up into like a powder. Another thing that I added in here was a scoop of coconut milk powder. So I got this at Walmart. This was like $13. And like this is an 8-ounce can. I don't know. It's organic, whatever. It's from Bear Organics. It was like $13. If you go on Amazon, you can buy like a bag coconut milk. That's going to be like $13, and it's a pound. So kind of a mistake there. But anyway, so a scoop of coconut milk powder, and then I put a tablespoon of chia seeds in with here, and then 2 tablespoons of sweetened coconut flakes. So this one I haven't eaten yet. I'm sure it's going to be sweet. I'm sure it's going to taste pretty good. We're going to try it out. But this could either be like a breakfast thing. This could be a lunch, late night snack. It's kind of one of those things like I'm just going to use for whatever. Maybe I don't feel like cooking one of these meals and I'm hungry. I know I need to eat something, but I don't need a big meal or I'm being lazy. This could be one of those. So this one I'm pretty excited about. Another thing that I'm trying, so when I first decided like I want to go take one of these through hikes, right? I went out and I bought oatmeal and I bought all this stuff to put in there, nuts and all these things. And then I ate oatmeal for like 6 months every morning. And that was great for maybe the first month. And then I was like, I don't even want this. So for like the next 5 months, I'm eating oatmeal and just like, I just don't even want this. However, it is pretty good, especially when you're kind of making it your own. You can obviously buy the packaged oatmeals, whatever. I buy the big, canister. This is like under $2 at Walmart. You can go with the Quaker Oats, but that's going to be like $4.50. So I mean, this is less than half the price. Same size, whatever. So what I did is I took a cup of oatmeal and I just threw like tons and tons and tons of stuff in here. All right, so in with the oatmeal, I put the chia seeds again, like tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. I put in some whole flax seed, things like that. I put a scoop of acai powder, so I've already kind of packaged this back up because the bag it came in got all weird. But yeah, so acai powder. I put the coconut milk in there. I put some of the powdered milk in there. I put some ground cinnamon in there. And then at Walmart, and I've been looking for these things forever because I bought these like when I was dealing with, Kevin's living in the hammock full time. These little Orchard Valley, little trail mix things. So I finally found them at a totally different Walmart while I was out riding. So I bought three different types of these. All right, so I bought 3 different types of these. So the first one I got is antioxidant mix, and this has almonds, cranberries and blueberries, cashews, and pepitas. So pepitas, which I also bought, little roasted pumpkin seeds, whatever. The other one is called Heart Healthy Blend. This has almonds, cranberries, walnuts, and chickpeas. And then the third one I bought were dark chocolate almonds. So this is more just kind of a little snack. But with these 2, I did put this in with the oatmeal. Another thing that I'm going to add right before I leave to the oatmeal, just because like I want this to be filling, I want it to like be healthy, I want to kind of get that fruit. So what I did is I bought some dried strawberries, some dried figs, and I bought dried blueberries. So those 3 different types of fruit I'm gonna throw in here, and it ends up being like a pretty like large meal. So I'm not really a breakfast person, but when I'm out on trail, like I know I need to eat breakfast to get those calories because I'm gonna be on a long hike. So this will be pretty good. The other thing, and I've never had this stuff before. I was a little nervous about it because I really had no idea what it tastes like. To me, it was like, oh, this is just for like health nuts, and things like that. Plus, this stuff can be a bit pricey. So I've been looking at all these different recipes online, and flaxseed and chia seeds, and I didn't even know what a chia seed was. And in Walmart, there's like a 4-foot section with all these powders, acai powder, hemp hearts, chia seeds, all this stuff. So I found a recipe online, and I've made this a few times already, and I've just kind of been tweaking it, adding all of my own stuff to it. But essentially, taking 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, 2 tablespoons of hemp heart seeds, 2 tablespoons of the pepitas, some coconut powder, some coconut milk powder. It's like a couple tablespoons of that. 1 or 2 tablespoons of the acai powder, and you can use whatever. I mean, you can use pomegranate powder or whatnot. And then again, I put like these little snack things in with there as well. I'll throw the fruit, the strawberries, the figs, the blueberries. I'll throw that in there. There's some of the coconut flakes are in there. Things like that. I'll link the recipes for this and my oatmeal and whatever. I'll link that in the bottom, and probably the mango sticky rice if you guys want to try those. But yeah, so because I've never had a chia seed, I didn't know what the hell it was. Hemp heart seeds, I didn't know what those were. And a lot of this stuff is used for like health things. And, like the acai powder is great for shakes and blah blah blah. But I was like, I've never eaten this. I have no idea what this tastes like. Maybe to like people that are really into health, like this tastes great, but to me this is going to be disgusting. So I made a bowl of it, poured water on it, let it sit for a little while. Because basically what I plan on doing with this is adding the water at night and then cold soaking it and then eating it, first thing in the morning when I wake up. So that everything in here has time to kind of hydrate and whatnot. So I think I added a little bit of sugar in here too. But yeah, so like this was phenomenal. So this is like my new favorite little trail thing. So on these like longer, hikes and multi-day camping trip, bike packing things, like this is definitely something I'm gonna bring with. So one of my favorites by far. But I'll link a little recipe in there of what I used to make this. So again, it is kind of a bigger meal, but it's very light, and it's gonna fill you up with tons of calories and all that stuff. So and tons of good stuff. Snack wise, so I've got these little Second Nature trail mix things. It's kind of a medley of stuff that's in there. So almonds, dark chocolate, peanuts, cranberries, cashews, and dried cherries. Like I've bought these tons of times. I bring these with me every single time I go. 5 grams of protein, so not a lot, 210 calories, but they taste phenomenal. I usually eat these when I'm just chilling inside of the hammock at night. It's kind of my snack while I'm watching YouTube videos of other people camping. So yeah, I got those Cliff Bars. So this time I'm rolling with the peanut butter banana, one of my favorites. Walmart was out of the blueberry crisp one because the Walmart I go to sucks and they're constantly out of everything. But then I've got a chocolate brownie Cliff Bar, so I'm going to try that. And then, some stuff that I've been really, really wanting to try for a while. They are a little bit more expensive, are these Lara bars. So I've got a peanut butter chocolate chip one. I've tried this. This is pretty tasty. And then an apple pie one, which I really like these. And then chocolate chip cookie dough. I've not tried this one yet. So, yeah, I mean, these are plant-based, gluten-free, dairy-free. They're vegan. So if you're into that kind of stuff, it's not really me, but they taste good. So yeah, and you know it's got six ingredients in there. So I'm gonna bring these with me. Uh, Again, these dark chocolate almonds, and then something else that I started seeing in other hiking videos. I've never seen these before. I've never tried them. But like going into like the bike stores now and like bike packing and doing all of that stuff, I've been kind of running into these, and these are these honey stinger waffles. I've never eaten one of these, but I found these at this other Walmart that I happened to stop at, and they were like just over $1. It was like $1.18 or something like that. So I've seen tons of hikers like eat these, and they're usually taking like packets of peanut butter or like an almond butter or whatever, and kind of smearing that on there, and then eating it. So yeah, so 150 calories. You know, I don't know. It's 1 gram of protein, so not really a lot, but like just a little snack. So yeah, I just bought one of each just to try them. I don't know. We'll find out if I like these or not. So yeah, that's kind of like snacks. And then another thing that I'm super excited about. So this is a 1 gallon bag. I'm probably not going to bring this whole thing. I'll probably work this into a smaller freezer bag. But I made my own granola because granola is expensive. But essentially what I did is, and again, I'll link the recipe in the bottom, but this is phenomenal. So first time I've made this, I will be tweaking it next time I make it. But essentially, I took the oatmeal, I put coconut flakes in there to kind of mix that together, and then in a separate bowl, I put maple syrup, canola oil. I did a scoop of the acai powder, salt. Recipe calls for brown sugar. I used muscovado just because I had it laying around, and muscovado is phenomenal brown sugar. Way more expensive though, but I had it, so I was like, I'm just gonna make this pretty killer. And there's some other stuff, whatever that you throw in. Vanilla paste. I happen to have a bourbon vanilla bean paste in the house, so I use that. But again, I'll put all the stuff in there, and then I also used a little bit of agave syrup I put in there just to kind of sweeten it a little bit. But yeah, this worked out pretty good, and I cooked it in the oven for about an hour, kind of stirring everything around every like 15 minutes. I do have like the convection fan on this oven for the place I'm staying at. So I use that just to kind of circulate air in there. I put it on, glass cooking dishes, whatever, and then when I took it out, I transferred it onto cookie trays, and then just used a spatula and like flattened it down. So, and then I let it sit out just overnight, just to cool and kind of harden a bit. I mean, it's it definitely will break apart. So I do have a little bowl here, but like, I mean, it's chunks, obviously. So it's super sticky though. But it's so good. It's so good. So putting it though on like the cookie tray and like taking the spatula and like flattening it out, you could essentially cut these into like granola bars. That's really what this is, right? Like if you think about like the Quaker Oats granola bars, right? Those like the real janky ones. It's essentially what this is, but 1,000 times more delicious. So I think next time I make this, I'll incorporate things like raisins and little things of like chocolate chips, things like that. You can put different dried fruits in there, whatever. I did put a little bit of chia seed and flax seed in there. But yeah, I think the next time I make this, I'm definitely going to incorporate, fruits and chocolate and things like that, just to kind of jazz it up a little bit. But just this alone, I mean, this is phenomenal. So, yeah. Drink-wise, just because we're still kind of talking about food. So, you know, again, I've got these little Walmart single-serve drink packets. So some of them have energy, some have electrolytes, and some are just flavored drink mixes. So yeah, so I've got a bunch of those, and then I am bringing some Noon sport tablets. These are electrolytes. So I bought one. It's a 10-pack tri-berry flavor. So I'm going to be using that. So yeah, this is kind of my food loadout. It is a lot of food, but you know, 4 days, 53 miles, and I will definitely have some extra food. There's a reason for that. So let's talk about that on the trail. Stay tuned though, because in the next coming videos, I'm going to talk to you guys about the gear loadout with some new gear that we're bringing out on the trail to test out while we're out there. I'm super excited. I've never done a challenge like this. If I'm able to complete it, which I'm sure I will get like a little patch and kind of this little certificate thing. I don't really care about that stuff, but it's just kind of cool. I've never done this before, and I'm pretty excited. So, yeah, and super excited to try different meals and do all this stuff and get away from city real life and get back out onto a trail surrounded by trees and nature and beauty and just go. So, yeah, stay tuned, and I'll see you guys on another episode of Lifeline.